Hey guys, welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to be downloading, installing and setting up Garuda Linux in a dual boot fashion. So basically I'll have Windows in one drive and like Linux in the other, Garuda Linux in the other. The first few things that we'll need are I have made a folder out here, and this basically has some of the things which you may already have. If you do not have, not too big deal. So the first thing you will need is a Garuda disk image file. So how do you get this? There's a link in the description, but essentially you need to go to garudalinux.com. So you can go to any browser. I use Chrome. So just go to garudalinux.com, .org, and yeah, when you go there you can click on this download tab, and when you click on this download tab, you will get a lot of stuff out here. Yeah, any issues that come up during the setup, you can read this installation procedure, but most probably if you do not understand most of the documentation, it's not a big deal. This video has a very generalized procedure and it will work with most laptops. So anyways, the version that which is basically this one, the Dragonized edition, and you can use any of these links given out here. So once you do that, your download will start, and make sure to keep your download in a place where it is easy to find. So the next thing that you're going to need is Rufus. So just search for Rufus, Rufus, and if you search for Rufus, you'll get this rufus.ie, create bootable media, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So you have guessed the third requirement. The third requirement is a USB drive, and the USB drive is supposed to be at least above 8 gigabytes for a very smooth installation and for you to follow this tutorial. If you have anything greater than 8 gigabytes, great. But the only thing is that this Rufus app, or any burning app for this matter, the thing that it'll cause is it'll cause your drive to be completely formatted. So make sure to create a drive backup, and yeah, you can click on this link and the installation will start. Since I already have it, I'm not going to install it, but yeah, essentially this is what you can do. So two requirements done. The third requirement is of course a USB drive. So I have already set my USB drive inside. It's called HP 8GB, and yeah, anything above 8GB would do perfectly fine. So let's now go to this folder, and let's right click on Rufus and click it as run as administrator. So just click on yes. Once the yes is clicked, you get this option out here that says drive properties, blah 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 blah. So what you need to do is select the image file, and you can go to desktop, and like, yeah, I have this Garuda folder and this is my ISO file. And as you can see, it says DD image writing mode will be enforced. Click on OK, because if you do not have DD image writing mode, it will cause a lot of issues. So yeah, once this happens, click on start, and again it warns you multiple times that all the data on the device will be destroyed, and that's true. So make sure to create a data backup. So click on OK, and yeah, it will start deleting and it'll start writing an image, whatever. So essentially this process would take another 15 minutes, and it's a good time to point out how much time it'll take, because I have done preparation for this video. So let's make a time estimate. Half an hour to 1 hour, somewhere between that range. Basically what I did, I left it and I went for lunch. So be patient, and if you feel that there has been any place where you're not able to follow along with my tutorial, read the documentation provided at garudalinux.org. So anyways, all right, so as you can see, the status, like the bar is complete and it says ready, and like you can get this miso.efi, whatever is this. So basically, yeah, what happened is now the writing is complete, and if you go to your file explorer, you can see that your drive name has changed. First it was HP 8GB in my case, and now it became miso_efi, and that's a good thing. That means like Rufus has done his job pretty well. And yeah, so once that's done, click close. So now the next thing that we need to do is basically create a partition, which is one of the more important steps. So click on your Windows key plus the R button and type disk mgmt.msc. Click on that, and when you do that, you will get your drives listed out here. The system requirements for Garuda Linux are around 30 GB, but since I have this hard drive out here, I'm going to be shrinking this. And yes, a hard drive is slower, but since I'm only trying out Garuda Linux for the first time, I wouldn't, be so disappointed with a slow running, but I'll get a good idea of how it works. So I'm going to keep a 50 GB disk space. Click on shrink, and when that happens, I'll have this unallocated space out here. So once this has happened, so yeah, now I've moved to my external camera view, and now what we need to do is I'm going to click the restart, and what you need to know is basically you need to launch your boot menu. So if you're fairly familiar with what the boot menu is, great. If you're not, before you restart, just search the boot menu option, and in my case HP laptop is the escape button. So if you click on the escape button, it says pause startup, and this startup menu opens. Out here, a very important thing that we need to do is disable a secure boot. So if you have already disabled your secure boot, you don't need to do this, but if you haven't, it's pretty mandatory for you to do this. In our case, we need to click the F10 button, which is the BIOS setup. So click on that F10 button, and this ugly looking menu will pop up. Don't worry, you need to use the arrow keys to navigate, and you need to click the enter key, or whatever is written out here will help you a lot. So essentially what we need to do, we need to go to the system configurations tab, so the arrow bar twice, and when we do that, we need to click on this boot options button. So just use the arrow down, and in order to open the sub menu, you need to click on the enter as written out here. So click the enter key, and when you do that, you can go all the way down here to secure boot. As you can see, the secure boot is disabled in my case, but let's say it is not disabled. Click on the enter key, and you can either enable it or disable it. So let's say I click on disabled, and when I do that, you need to save the changes and exit. So you need to press the F10 key. So if you click the F10 key, it says exit saving changes, click yes. In my case it was disabled, but in your case it would be enabled, and from enabled to disabled, there will be one small operation which you have to do. It'll say like enter 3441 and click enter. When you do that, your secure boot will get disabled. So my Windows again relaunched, so not a big deal. Same procedure, click on the restart button and restart your system, and again press the escape key. So let this happen first. Yeah, now keep clicking the escape key. The escape key has been clicked, the startup was paused, and now it has started. Now we can click the boot device menu. So click on the F9 key. When you do that, you will see that there are your USB hard drive is listed out here, which is the USB hard drive inserted here. So just use the arrow keys again and click enter, and when you do that, this will load. So you don't need to do anything. It says 7 seconds remaining, just leave it as it is. So you don't need to worry about all this and start panicking. This is just some system level stuff which Garuda is doing on its own end. So you don't need to worry about this. Just let this happen. Do not click any keys. That would be one major thing that I would make sure. So yep, now this has come about, and essentially yeah, the Garuda window has come. This is the welcome screen, and yep, the thing that we are going to do is we are going to install Garuda Linux. Pretty simple. So yeah, just click on the install button, and it says it's gonna do some stuff, so let it do it. If you connect to the internet, you're essentially downloading a lot of bloatware, and you don't really need that. So if you want, you can do that. That's just an optional thing. So anyways, let's just continue it, and now we can click on this next button right here. So now it asks us to select your region. I live in India, so I'm going to select India, and cool, next. Just make sure that you have the same keyboard layout as listed here. I'm going to click next. I'm going to go with replace a partition. So as you can see, there's this free space out here which was 48.8 GB. I just selected that using the mouse, and you can go to next. Once you do that, you can enter your stuff out here, and I'm just going to quickly enter this. I'm going to click next now. Yes, click on install. No worries, install now, and it says welcome to Garuda Linux. It'll take quite some time. You can go grab a snack in the meantime, and let's come back once this is done. Okay, so we are done with that entire installation part, and now it says you can restart now. We can click on this done button and we'll be good to go. So yeah, do not panic when you see this. Yep. Now you basically get this boot menu, so you can select Garuda or Windows, whatever your choice. So I'm gonna select Garuda anyways. So yeah, and this is like the cool loading icon. I like that. So yeah, I have this out here. To be honest, my first reaction is great, man. This is like a very clean OS. No. Okay, so this is like some stuff out here. Garuda Gamer, Garuda blah blah blah. I really don't need all this, so yeah, this is cool too. The main thing is that now we have Garuda Linux installed. What I want to do is make sure that my Windows is in place. So I'm going to click the restart button. So yeah, now you can see you can use the arrow keys and move around here there. So what I need is Windows, right? So I'm just going to select Windows and click enter, and now I'm going to boot into Windows. So as you can see, Windows works perfectly fine. And yeah, essentially now what we have Linux and Garuda Linux and Windows successfully dual booted. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye bye.